We ran the organization under a principle called democratic centralism. So democratic centralism, where is a decision gets made at the top, but there's also the democracy part in which you're able to respond to those decisions about whether they're correct, whether you want to do something or whether you don't want to do it. So that's the democracy part, where the base gets to participate in those centralist decisions. Now, you know, your best laid out plan sometimes doesn't get laid out like that. So oftentimes people wouldn't, the center would make a decision about somebody's transfer. They would see a need. So for example, myself, they needed someone to go study at the Goddard College to eventually go teach Philippine history. And they would survey the ranks to see, you know, who might be available, who had those skills, who would make a good teacher, who wasn't needed in a certain chapter. And they would call you up and say, we need to talk to you. So they would laid out to me why I should go to Boston. And, you know, you might, I remember I was saying, well, I don't know if I want to go. And they would really put a lot of pressure on you to go, right? And so I made the decision to go. I mean, I've always felt, yeah, there were a lot of pressures on me to do certain things, but I always felt I had the right to say no. Oftentimes, I know that people refused a transfer or refused an assignment, and they were asked eventually to leave the organization because eventually they would be told, your commitment isn't there, you know, where's your commitment to our program, you know, you're being selfish, you're only thinking about yourself, and eventually that person, you know, would feel that they could not meet the demands of what the KDP was asking, and then would either decide to leave or they might get asked to leave the organization after some time. So, I mean, I think that for many people that became, you know, their experience with the KDP, and some people left because of that. Other people, as I speak for myself, I think the KDP demanded a lot, but I also think that it taught me that I could always come up to the demand. I remember when Silme and Jean died and they asked me to step forward to lead the Committee for Justice. And because I had mainly been in internal work, I was not a public speaker, I was not on the front lines of organizing as other people had been. And obviously I had a lot of doubts about what I could do, but I also knew, you know, the demands were high. If we did not step forward to bring to justice all those that were responsible for Silme and Jean's death, that you know, justice would never be served. And so I always stepped forward. I don't think I ever said no to an assignment, and I don't regret it. You know, but that's me personally. I don't regret it. I think it's made me a better person. It's made me know what kind of inner strength that I have, and you know, and I'm proud that I've always come up to the demands that were asked of me, and I feel in that way I've made some great contributions in my life to the movement.